Alrighty, good morning. This is the fucking yoga company. My name is Julia. No, not that kind of yoga. All right. This is Vinyasa yoga, Vinyasa flow. So this is a little stronger energy practice. Sorry, I'm having allergy issues this morning. Nothing sexier than a yoga teacher whose nose is running. All right. So today we are going to be working through a little Warrior One flow with a kind of a little bit of mix of sun salutation in there. And there are going to be resting places, but as always, move at your own pace. Keep your little squish in the elbows, squish in the knees. I will cue that. Grab your water, grab what you need, and we're going to start in comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Taking a moment to pull your attention and awareness from the external to the internal. We want to take a scan of the body, checking in to the state and quality of the physical form, just noticing where you are already feeling a little bit of tension or tightness. Maybe you're having some response in the body that you're already dealing with. It's a little after 9 in the morning in the Mountain Standard Time Zone. We want to take a moment to pull our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. You guys are in for a treat because I think my coffee just hit. Woohoo! All right. Beginning yoga was a little touch and go today. All right. Let's notice what's going on in the brain. I just noticed my brain has started to wake up. So that, there was a reason to mention that. That's not always the case. Let's notice if your to-do list is already starting, we want to move those things off to the side, create a nice, clear, open field of thought for the practice. We want to hold some silence so that we can spend our time just on the mat this morning. And now let's move that silence into the attention of our breath. And we're just going to notice, that natural intuitive inhale and exhale. And we want to increase the length of that breath, and we want to match the length of inhale to the length of exhale and create a rhythm that we're going to keep and try to maintain throughout our practice today. Wherever you are in the rhythm and balance of breaths, mush mouth, let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. We're going to reach on down towards the mat and take a nice long sweep up to the ceiling. So something I have noticed, if you are watching this at a later date, that the rest of us are in the middle of a pandemic, right? In the COVID-19, I am recovering. I'm one of those long haulers with a lot of extra symptoms. But I did have, I braved a massage this week, which was touch and go because I've been noticing I'm bruising, I'm very tender, and I'm having a lot of joint pain. But enough about me. The thing my massage therapist said, which actually made a lot of sense to me, and I should have thought about it as a yoga instructor, we're going to come on up and take our lateral extension in a moment, is that when we're wearing our masks, we're all breathing through our mouths. Let's take it over to the right. And we're shortening our breath even further. So you guys, if you're regular clients of mine and you're visiting this site a lot, or you heard me rant and rave, we really during the day only breathe into the upper portion of our chest. And that's why yoga breathing is so good for you, because you draw breath all the way down into the depths of your lungs, at least for an hour. And what I have been experiencing and what somebody else had to bring to my attention, which is usually how it goes, is that we're all breathing through our mouths in the masks because it is a little difficult. It just feels harder to breathe. I think it's psychological, particularly when it's very, very hot. I try not to go places when it's really hot because it's definitely a challenge for me. Breathlessness is kind of my normal state at this point. But what she said made so much sense. We're going to come and take our forward fold is that we're breathing even shallower when we're in our masks. And that's part of the problem, kind of with the distraction and the anxiety. Wiggle the toes, relax the feet, unclench the teeth of the mask. And so, you know, when you are in a space without your mask in, you know, a safe place, your car or, you know, your house, let's unwind and walk our hands back. We're going to take a stretch up to the ceiling to take a few deep yoga breaths in through the nose and draw the breath all the way down to the lungs. We're going to open up our hands, palms up, little shrug of the shoulders, soften the elbows. Let's reach back behind the body. I'm going to actually write a blog post about this. For those of you who are not tuned in at this particular moment, releasing fingertips down to the hips, turning the palms back. Let's relax the shoulders, bow the chin. We're going to take our head tilts. And it made so much sense to me because we're already shallowly breathing during the day. Release for the fold and take the ear over. And so if you're breathing through the mouth in the mask, which feels like you're getting more air, you might be getting a more powerful breath, but it's even shorter. Like, so normally we breathe, take a little tilt like into this portion of our lungs, right? But our lungs are this big. And when we're breathing into our masks with an open mouth, we're actually like limiting ourselves to just here. So that's why the masks, that's an added bonus to wearing the masks that we're not thinking about. Let's take it into the other side. So anyway, that's my little gift to you. Try to breathe more deeply through your nose in the masks. Unwind it because I've noticed I'm dehydrated. If you're sitting cross-legged, we're going to change the cross of the legs. And I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee too. See, my brain woke up. I'm on it. I'm on fire today. Woohoo! I'm also sleeping, so that's another bonus. I'm rested. Let's bring our arms up. We're going to take a cactus squeeze. We're going to drop those elbows back and down. And now let's move into our C curve. Tilt the hips. Bow forward. Reach those fingers away from the center of the chest. Inhaling, let's unwind it and take those elbows back. So once you've gotten to the car or once you've left the public space and you are free and clear of others and in a safe distance, give yourself a few yoga breaths after you take those masks off, tuck, and you will feel better. Yay. I love simple fixes. One more time. Big reach up. Let's take our forward fold. We're going to trace our fingers over, bowing through the chin. Roll the shoulders. I'm going to come down to my elbows, wiggle the toes, unclench the teeth. Block. I didn't mention the block. I was talking about breathing. With the next inhale, let's lengthen the arms, walking hands back and move into our sweep toward the ceiling. Woo, we're going to open up those arms, palms up, little shrug of the shoulders, soften the elbows, reach back behind the body, tuck the chin. Release the hands down to the hips. Let's take another one of those head sweeps. So I'm just going to tilt my ear over to one side. And release. If you're watching this at a different date and we're out, I hope we're out of the pandemic and we have a vaccine and people are being smart and wearing masks. I don't know about you, but I'm digging the mask. You know why? No makeup. Holy cow, I do not feel any I do not feel compelled, release, to put on any makeup. Not that I feel compelled to put on makeup anyway, but this is just a gimme, right? Release the chin forward, trace those fingertips around the front of the body, and slowly stack cervical spine. We're gonna move to hands and knees. And I like to pad my knees with a blanket. I'm gonna put two fists together. I'm resting my knees to either side of my hands. I'd like you to keep your hips stacked directly over your knees, 90 degrees, but move the heels of your hands from 90 degrees out about a half to a full palm's length so that you can soften the elbows. We're gonna take pressure off of our wrists. It lets us relax out of our shoulders as well and engages the core. We're gonna just really more effectively utilize our body strength rather than resting in the low back and the shoulders. My pinkies are almost to the edge of the mat. I want a nice wide stance with my hands. Let's take some Chakravarkasana bow. Nice big inhale at center. Releasing chin, placing forearms to the mat, scoop the belly, tilt those hips back, and take a bow. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Inhaling forward. And releasing, tucking chin, releasing elbows, and taking hips back. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Let's take one more round. Let's come forward. We're gonna take our what the fuck lean, oxen lean. Push a hip out over to one side, look over your shoulder toward your heel. Inhaling and switch. And let's do that 2 more times in both directions. All right, we're gonna come to center and take an angry cat tuck. Just release the chin, tuck the tailbone, soften the elbows, little lean back into the heels. We're gonna tuck our toes and come up to the feet. I'm gonna step forward to balance in the center of the balls of my feet. Soften the knees, soften the elbows, and back behind the heels of my hands. Let's take a calf stretch. So just press into runner stretch. And switching sides. One more time in both directions. All right, we're gonna glance forward and walk up. I'm gonna take let's take a little easy forward fold. I am gonna find my block since it happens to be right in front of me. Soften the knees, little bit forward into the feet, but keeping the entire surface of the foot on the mat. Soften the knees. We're gonna bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. I'm gonna grab my coffee and slowly wind up. Take a big stretch. To the ceiling. Let's take our cactus squeeze. We're gonna add that. And we're gonna just go into a forward fold. So let's just trace it on down into forward folding chair. Parsva Utkatasana. Hang back in those heels. Nice long stretch through the back. Now let's trace up for a nice easy half lift. 120 degrees, remember it's half lift, not half fold. Shoulder caps are rolled open. I'm just keeping my fingers on my thighs first couple of rounds. Let's slide on down for our forward fold. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Engage the core as we roll on up. Give me that reverse crunch. Big cactus squeeze. Coming on down for our forward folding chair. We're going to trace up the legs for our half lift. I'm gonna increase the energy in this pose by rocking those shoulders open and reaching the hands back behind me. Let's trace on down for our forward fold. All right, we're gonna step the right foot back into warrior one. So I'm gonna step back and out, planting my heel. I've got nice lateral space between my feet, and I'm gonna come up. Let's give me a cactus arm here. Just gonna slowly amp our energy up. Lengthen through that front leg. Give me squish in both knees. Take the hands to the thigh. Rock that hip back a little bit away from the heel and then center up the chest. We're coming over for our half pyramid. Unclench the teeth, wiggle the toes. I've got squish in both my knees, excuse me. All right, we're sliding on down, plant the hands. We're gonna step back into our plank. Front foot back. Soft in the knees, soft in the elbows, a little higher with the hips. Scoop the belly up and in. Keep those elbows rotated to the center of the mat. Lean on back. Let's step forward and take a big runner stretch. And switch. All right, we're gonna walk up to take our forward fold. Soft bend in the knees for me, please. Maybe you're on the block. Maybe you're touching the shins or the feet. Close the circuit so we can relax the hamstrings and take a full stretch. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders, scoop the belly up and in. Nice big reach. Cactus arms, squeeze it back. Coming on up to come down, forward folding chair. Trace the fingers up the legs for our half lift. I'm going to release on down for my forward fold. I'm going to step my left foot back for my warrior one. Be stable on those feet first. Give me lateral space. Side to side, cactus arm. Lengthen through the front knee. Give me squish. Turn that hip back. Rotate the chest forward, half pyramid. Keep squishing both those knees. Don't let that front knee snap into hyperextension. All right, let's come on down. We're going to plant the hands to step back into plank. Soft in the knees, soft in the elbows. Shrug the shoulders away from the ears, a little higher in the hips. I'm going to lean back into the feet, walk into the center of the balls of the feet. I'm going to take another big calf stretch. If you're feeling like moving into a full downward dog, go for it. Soft in the knees, soft in the elbows. Let's glance forward. I think I'm just going to walk up today. I'm not going to do that float. Next round, if you want to add that float, it has to be silent. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Give me a reverse crunch up. Big stretch, squeeze it back. Inhaling up to come down, forward folding chair. Trace the fingers up the legs for our half lift. I'm coming down for my forward fold. I am going to take my right foot back for my warrior one. Coming on up. All right, you can give me that full arm, but make sure it's ballerina arm, right? I'm holding a beach ball between my hands to keep my shoulders engaged and open away from my ears. long in the body, just the top ribs are coming up. I've got squish in the back leg. My front knee's behind my ankle. I'm gonna lengthen this front leg, give me some squish. I'm gonna take it back and take my half pyramid without that contact. So you gotta fight for this front knee. Don't let it hyperextend. Don't let the back knee hyperextend. I'm gonna come down and touch the mat. We're gonna step forward for our single leg balance. Lift it up. And now we're gonna step back for plank. Plant the hands. Try not to drool on your mat, which is what I just did. Step it on forward. Woo! Soften the knees, soften the elbows. Shrug those shoulders down. We're gonna lean back. Step into the center of the balls of the feet. I'm gonna just take a full downward dog. So soften the knees, soften the elbows. Lean the hips back away from the heels of the hands, but stay up out of that chest, right? Don't hang down on your shoulder girdle like this. I want you to press up and lift from the center of the chest down to the length of the core. I'm just looking at my toes. Stretch the spine using the power of your core. I'm gonna glance up. I'm walking, but if you're gonna float, make it silent. Soft bend in the knees, forward fold. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders, and scoop it on up. Cactus arm, squeeze it back. Coming on up to come down, forward folding chair. Tracing right up the legs for our half lift. Soften the knees, a little forward in the feet, open those shoulders. Tracing on down for my forward fold. I'm gonna plant my hands. I'm stepping my left foot back. No, what am I doing? Stepping my left foot back. Sorry, I had to think about that. For warrior one. Big ballerina arms. I'm squeezing a beach ball between my hands. Soft in this back knee. I'm a little less squish in this back knee because of my ankle. That's the ankle I shattered. I don't have a full mobility yet. It's been 5 years. Soft in the knees. Press on back. Half pyramid. All right, I'm gonna come down to step forward for our standing balance. Woo. Soften the supporting knee, roll up out of that hip. Let's step back for plank. Soften the knees, soften the elbows. Shrug the shoulders down. Relax the neck, unclench the teeth. And we're gonna lean back and step into downward facing dog. Center up the balls of the feet, soften the knees, soften the elbows. Lean away from the heels of the hands, but keep pressed up, out of the chest and the back. Out of the chest and into the back. That's what I wanted to say. Soften the knees. So flat in the spine, so flat, engage the core. Glancing forward. Now, if you want to float, you can, but make it silent. I'm walking up today. Taking my forward fold. Bend the knees. I'm gonna grab another sip of coffee. Give me that reverse crunch up. Cactus arms. Someone else should be sweating. Forward fold. I'm pretty sure this is not a hot flash. Half lift. I'm going to come down from my forward fold. Stepping my right foot back. I'm going to warrior one. We're going to come on up. All right. Relax out of those shoulders. The body's long and forward over that front leg. Scoop the belly to take it out of the low back. We're going to add an exalted warrior here at reverse warrior. So I'm going to turn my body. So I'm still in my knee. Ooh, feeling my hamstring. I'm just rotating the upper body. I'm going to reach back towards the back of my mat with my right hand. And I'm curling my left hand over my head. Like squeeze the beach ball now between your hand and your shoulder. All right, let's straighten the body forward. Lengthen that front leg. Draw that forward hip back. Let's take our half pyramid. Coming on down, I'm going to adjust my foot into my single leg balance. Lengthen that leg. Take your fold. I'm soft in this supporting knee. I'm rotated up and away out of this hip. All right, we're going to step into warrior two. So I'm going to line my heels up on that same plane, turning my body square. Guys, I got to take this. I'm sweating. I got to take that off. Okay. Square up those hips, ribs, shoulders. So no leaning forward. Lengthen those arms out. Soften this back knee. Squeeze up those triceps and look out over those fingers. Release the fingers. I'm looking out the front line of my arm. Warrior two. I just found myself tilting into that hip. Square them up. All right, we're gonna rotate forward. We're gonna come over to plant the hands for plank. Let's step that front foot back. Soft bend in the knees. Soft bend in the elbows. Shrug the shoulders down. Little higher with the hips. Rotate the elbows to the center of the mat. Leaning back, I'm going to step my feet forward into the center of the balls of the feet. Soften the knees, soften the elbows. Pull those shoulders down away from the ears. Scoop the belly, flatten the back. Lean away from the heels of the hands. Glancing forward, I'm walking up. Float if you want, but make it silent. Bend the knees. Give me a reverse crunch up. Cactus arms. Coming up to come down. Forward folding chair. Scoop the belly. Reverse crunch it up. Half lift. Coming on down for a forward fold. Left foot's going to step back. Warrior one. Be mindful of the placement of your feet. Come on up. All right, I'm gonna stay in this position with the legs. I'm gonna turn my body diagonally, tick-tock, and reach back with the left hand. I'm just gonna relax my head and neck. All right, I'm gonna rotate forward to take our standing balance. So let's head on over. And I gotta adjust my foot to step up. Soften that supporting knee, rotate open out of that hip. All right, let's step back. I'm lining my heels up for warrior two. I'm gonna come on forward. All right, let's give me a little hip rock here so that we can balance these hips. I'm gonna take my knee right over my heel. I actually have to move my big toe in. I forgot to cue that. Soft bend in this back knee. Hips, ribs, shoulders are square. Reach on out, squeeze up those triceps. Look out over the front fingers. All right, we're gonna rotate forward to come down to plant for plank. So plant the hands, step that front foot back, soften the knees, soften the elbows, pull the shoulders away from the ears, scoop that belly. Let's press back into the feet, step forward to balance right on the center of the balls of the feet, soften the knees, soften the elbows, lean back away from the heels of the hands, and shrug those shoulders down. I want you to press up away from the floor through the center of the chest. Scoop that belly so much and really feel flat through the spine. I'm going to glance forward and walk up. I'm just going to take a little forward fold here. Bend the knees, scoop the belly. Let's trace up. We're going to take 3 rounds of forward folding chair. Whew. So just let it go and relax. Trace it on up. 2 more of those, just like that. 1 more. Whew. All right. I'm going to crouch all the way down into the balls of my feet. Tuck the chin. I'm just pushing into the heels. I'm stretching through the ankles and the calves. And now I'm going to gracefully take a seat. That was a little less gracefully than I thought I was going to. It's all good. It's all good. All right, we're going to move into our back to start our cool down. This is a great place for the strap if you have it. If you don't, I'll cue without it. Gotta blow my nose. Note to self, take an allergy pill today. More coffee. Let me tell you, this is what I really love about this online gig. Number 1, it's the short commute. And number 2, I have access to my coffee all morning. Okay, let's make sure we have some room behind ourselves so that we can lay down. Bring those knees up, give them a squeeze. Oh, yeah. Wiggle the ankles, wiggle the toes. Let's lengthen those legs out and take a big reclined mountain. Whoops, I just kicked my block over. Reach those arms up over the head. We have a high production value here at the fucking yoga company. Oh, yeah. Okay, so daughter, who is a filmmaker, Big reach. Let's take the left leg up and double hand it over the knees. Nice big stretch. Took one look at my setup and said, oh, you've got to film into the corner. Add some depth to the shot. So I did what she said this morning. This is my first time. And all you're seeing, or all I'm looking at, is the cans of paint and where I stopped painting. Very relaxing for a yoga practice to look at your to-dos that you have not finished. All right, I am going to take the strap around the arch of my foot. I want you to press your foot long along the floor and hang on to it, right? Dorsal flex the toes, soften the knees. And now start drawing that leg up. I'm going to just work my hands up that strap. I've got my biceps pressed down. My triceps pressed into the mat. Elbows are on the floor. And I'm just taking this long hamstring stretch. If you do not have a strap, do the exact same thing. Just interlace your fingers low on the hamstring. And just, take this stretch. So we worked a lot of strength in the hamstring today. We did stretch and strength, co-concentric work. But we also want to just give it a nice stretch only. Did I mention I need to take an allergy pill? All right, I'm going to reach up with my left hand, and take both ends of those straps. We're going for our adductor stretch. If you don't have a strap, just hook the fingers right around the back of the hamstring on under the knee, or at the top of the knee, and let that leg hang and support it on your hand. If you've got the strap, just reach up with the left hand. Let's take that leg out and let it hang in the strap, but try to keep that soft bend in the knee. Don't let it hyperextend. It really wants to in this position. All right, let's draw that leg up. I'm going to switch the cross. So if you don't have a strap, just loop the fingers of the right hand over the top of the knee around to the back of the hamstring and take that leg over. I'm going to use the strap, so I'm reaching up with my right hand. I'm just switching hands, and I'm taking that leg all the way across. Reach back behind yourself with the left arm. Oh, yeah. Same thing, give me that slight dorsal flexion of the toes, but keep the knee softly bent. We're going to come on up. We're going to separate the hands on the straps or wrap them back around the leg. Just give me a slightly more leverage out of that hamstring. And bring that knee in, give it a squeeze. Let's roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. All right, we're going to switch. Lengthen the left leg. Bring the right leg up. Give it a double-handed squeeze. Oh. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. Okay, same thing on this leg. We're going to press the heel out to the length of the mat. I'm going to loop the strap around the arch of the foot. Lengthen out first, soften the knee, dorsal flex the foot. Now start bringing that leg up. Whether you have the strap or you're just using your hands. If you have the strap, press those triceps down against the mat. Soft bend in the knee. Try to rotate the foot so that the side of the foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. All right, we're going to take that adductor stretch. So I'm going to reach on up with my left or right hand, or I'm going to take my fingers right around the back of my hamstring, and I'm going to let that leg drop out to the right. Keep a soft bend in the knee. Keep the dorsal flexion of the foot. All right, let's bring that leg up. Now we're switching the cross. I'm going to take my left hand to the strap or wrap it over the top of the knee. We're going to draw that leg across the body. Reach back with the right arm. I'm going to move my leg. All right, we're going to draw up with that leg. I'm going to take a little bit deeper of the hamstring stretch, just giving myself a little more leverage. All right, let's release that. Give that knee a little squeeze, rock and roll the ankles. We're going to bring our knees up, give them both a squeeze. Let's take the big toes to the side of the mat, to the outside edges. We're going to take some windshield wiper sweeps. I like to open my arms up into a V or a Y shape. Drop over to one side with both knees in the same direction. Sweep it on up and switch. And one more time. All right, let's bring the feet in. We're going to balance a little bit wider than a fist width between the feet and the knees. I'm scooching my heels a little closer to my glutes. We're going to work for a little active bridge work here. So let's rest the arms at the sides, kind of roll into the shoulder blades. Let's exhale all the air out of the lungs, and we're going to just take 4 rounds of active bridge. We did a lot of extension today with the back, which is technically a back bend, but I don't like to use back bend. I like to use extension. It takes out that weird arch the back that you see everywhere in yoga. Let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. And now let's press up. Inhale, lift the hips, press into the feet, lengthen, look straight ahead at the ceiling. Lift those hips, really lift up. And now let's slowly roll down in control. We're going to do that 3 more times. Two more rounds. One more time. All right, I'm going to bring my fingertips up over the knees. I'm just going to cup my hands, lengthen the arms. My legs are hanging out in the length of my arms. We're going to work this Apanasana, and we're going to just take a nice inhale to prepare. Exhale, draw the knees towards the body. Now give me that reverse crunch, little lift of the tailbone toward the ceiling. We want to get into that lumbar structure where we connect the transverse abdominis. Inhale, lengthen the arms. The obliques, exhale, draw up. Give me a little lift of the tailbone. Through the lats, the lower latissimus dorsi runs through there. Got a whole bunch of QLs that run right up the center of the back. Let's do 3 more. Draw in, give me a little lift. Two more. And one more. All right, I'm going to add one more thing in that I wasn't going to add. I was going to finish off with the Apanasana, but I'm feeling it. So you are likely feeling it as well. We're going to work a little forward, figure 4. So let's just trace Tuck the right ankle over the top of the left knee. And we are going to work a little repetition with a stay, with a brief stay, and then we're going to do the other side. So right now, arms are relaxed. We're not using our arms at all. We're going to take an inhale. As you exhale, I want you to bring that left knee up, scoop the belly, and draw a little deeper towards the body with the power of the core. A little reverse crunch. Inhale, unwind. We're going to do that 3 more times, and then we're going to take a brief stay. Draw up, exhale, lift with the core toward the ceiling. 2 more. Try to stay relaxed in the shoulders and draw up. All right. Now, tuck the left hand behind the left knee. Leave the right hand loose and just give me a stay. Let's hang here and breathe. 3 deep inhales and exhales. All right, release that out. See, I knew it. We all needed it. Let's change the cross of the legs. Left ankle tucks over the right knee. Relax those arms out. And nice big inhale. Exhale, bring it up and in. Release it on down. 3 more, just like that. Draw it up. 2 more. And last one. Slide the right hand behind the right knee. Left arm stays open and released. Draw up toward the body. 4 deep breaths here. Did we only take 3 on the other side? Let's take 3. All right, we're gonna release to the mat. Bring those knees up, give them a squeeze. Take a little rock side to side. Here's where you get to move. Where are you feeling a little extra something going on in the body? Maybe you have a favorite stretch that we didn't do. Give yourself that movement. Think about body temperature, think about light. We are gonna move ourselves toward Shavasana. So give yourself a little stretch. Add a layer if you've got your air just kicked on. Get yourself comfortable, can be fully reclined. I'm taking seated meditation today only because I'm having allergies like nobody's business. I think I mentioned I need to take an allergy pill. I forgot. I forgot lots of things. All right, let's start working ourselves into the position we're gonna take final relaxation. You can keep your feet on the floor, knees to the ceiling. You can tuck a blanket under your low back. You can roll a blanket under your neck. You can extend legs all the way to the end of the mat, hands at your sides. Just work yourself into the position that's going to serve you best. And we are going to soften our breath. Let's just relax. Unclench the teeth. We're going to bring our attention and awareness into that forehead, that line of tiny little muscles. And let's smooth out all those tiny little muscles and nerve endings. Let them relax. Unclench the teeth. Let's let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth and soften through the cheeks. We're going to travel down through the sides of the neck. Relax those strap muscles. Feel the shoulders get a little heavier toward the floor. Let's relax through the biceps and triceps. Down through the space of the elbow and the forearm, little wiggle of the fingers, roll the wrists. Now let the upper body release its energy toward the mat. Let's travel through the space of the spine from the base of the neck, down between the rib cage, into the hips, a little rock side to side, and then let the glutes relax and feel the torso rest toward the mat. Relax through the quads and wrap that softness back around the hamstrings. Feels relaxed through the space of the knee. Maybe flexion of the calf, little rock and roll, little wiggle of the toes. And now let the lower body take its rest toward the mat. Travel into that space of your thinking. Let's slide anything that's kind of poking its head up off to the side. We want to hold that silence for a little while longer. If something kind of drags itself into your awareness, just let it drift off to the side like a cloud floating on the breeze. And let's anchor our attention into the breath. Just follow that inhale and exhale. We're going to draw some deeper breaths into the lungs, big filling inhales, big sighing exhales. What are we going to do? Wiggle the fingers and roll the wrists. I was having so much fun breathing, I forgot what we were going to do. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Let's wiggle the toes and roll the ankles. Reaching out those arms. Take a big stretch to the sides of the body. And then we're going to slide up over the head and take our big yawning, getting out of bed stretch. Let those hands relax back down to the hips. Let's take a knee up and give it a squeeze. We're going to bring the other knee up and give it a squeeze. Let's take some rocking side to side. Roll from one hip, cross the low back to the other. Bring in some movement back into the body, bring in some movement back into the lumbar structure. Take a little pressure massage through those glutes. And then when you're ready, let's rock completely over to one side, resting your head on your arm. Taking a breath or two right there, just noticing the support of the floor beneath you. All right, let's work our way up into a comfortable seated position. I like to walk my hands toward my hips, get my torso off the mat first, and then let's take some rocking side to side, balance out the body, roll those shoulders back, big, big rotation through the chest, through the shoulder girdle. I'm going to loop my fingertips over the tops of my knees, and then I'm going to hang my entire body away from that arm. I want to feel that stretch right through the neck and down over the top of the shoulder, excuse me. Releasing into the bow. Let's switch that lean, nice long stretch. And now let's balance out shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips, and take a scan of the body. Just taking a moment's notice to state and quality the physical form on this end of the practice. I'm going to move that attention and awareness into my thinking, and I'm going to let my to-do list spool up, but I want those items to have a little elbow room. No pushing, no shoving. And now wherever you are, let's just take a little notice of the breath. We just want to pay attention to that natural inhale and exhale for just a breath or two. It's really what moves us through our day, and we don't give it any respect or attention until it's hindered in some way. Let's release practice. Blinking eyes open. I'm going to take this lovely stretch up to the ceiling. I like to do that. You do not have to join me if it's not going to feel your jam this morning. I'm going to release all of that out and take a moment to honor my body for doing what I asked it to do. All the hard work it does to get us from one end of the week to the other. Guys, so much gratitude, thankfulness that you are helping support my online gig. I know it's not your favorite. I'm kind of growing into it. Really, really appreciate keeping me safe, keeping you safe, and still keeping our groove on. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Helping me build this new company, this new concept, and spending your hard-earned money might be a little tighter than normal to help me not feel completely isolated. Wow, that took a turn. It took a dark turn. I'm going to perk up. I am awake. Guys, if you want to get a hold of me or you have a question, I'm Julia. It's yoga@jclynn.com. That's how you email me. Hit the website, the EFFINGyogablog.com. You can look on the schedule. There's drop-in links if you want to try a class out. There's a new Vinyasa class on the schedule, which is a completely therapeutic class. That's on Fridays. Keep an eye out. There's going to be a foam roller workshop and another quick survey to get some feedback. And guys, just keep yourself safe. Be smart. Be kind. Wear your masks. Wash your hands. And I hope that your Saturday treats you as well, if not a little bit better than yoga did. Thank you so, so much, sincerely. And I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.